Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another amazing video of answering a question I bet none of you have thought to ask. Today, we're going to continue our series of LEGO games, and we're going to ask a simple question. Can you beat LEGO Batman 1 without changing any characters? And a quick little note, so basically in this game, for half of it you play as Batman and Robin, but you change into suits, so I'm counting those as part of my run. Will this beat our first game, or will it fall slightly short? Let's hop into this and find out. So, in order to start out, basically all the villains somehow break out of Arkham, again, and the police are borderline useless. So useless, in fact, that we see that the Joker is just terrorizing people. See that guy in the brown suit? He'll be important later. Maybe. I can't remember at this point. Catwoman's just doing her goddamn thing. Basically, you will find I skip over a couple chapters, but if they're not interesting, then I won't tell you about them in my personal opinion. So we load in with Riddler's story mission. He's got like 5 missions, every one of them does, and it starts out pretty simple. They are robbing a bank, and as Batman and Robin, it's our job to stop them. Robin, of course, jumps down, and since he's an idiot, he hurts himself. A lot, apparently. He didn't realize that there are fucking stairs. But you know what? Don't worry, I promise you, Robin will get his beat down throughout this one. Because look at this shit. He doesn't even realize it's me, and he tries to square up. Boy, have you seen the Arkham games? You ain't standing a chance against me. Anyway, loading into this first level, it's actually not that bad for a while because it just starts off with a basic fight. And here's the thing, some enemies, they take more hits, but you know what? Robin takes the hits like a champ, and we abuse him quite a bit. Believe it or not, it takes us a while to actually get to our first change, which is into the Bat Bomb suit. And you want to know one of the best things ever in the world? I managed to rediscover the fact that, like, these bombs will kill Robin. Watch, it's beautiful. Anyway, the next two changes are Robin and then to his new suit, which, yeah, loads of fun. By the way, I'm calling it now. I accidentally changed into Batman. Anytime I accidentally change, I'm calling it because, well, I deserve to punish myself for that kind of failure. The boss fight's all pretty easy. I mean, you basically just hit Clayface a few times, and then he retreats back, and then you do some more stuff. It's really easy stuff here. And see, here's what I mean. Once you get him in there and he hops up there, you basically just aim a battering at the 3 little switches behind him that somehow push him in. I don't know what it is, man. This is old Lego game nonsense, but you know what? We're happy it worked. Riddler leaves us a clue and decides to fly away. And somehow, even with Clayface still there, Batman doesn't get up. Like, what the hell, Batman? But you know what? It's okay. We throw a stud onto him. That sounds really bad out of context. It's a tracker. It's an old Lego game. What do you expect? They don't have all the fancy. Anyway, back at the Batcave, I do manage to make sure I beat up on Robin, and notice if you hit him twice, he covers his toe. Don't worry, I beat up Alfred once, but seriously. Loading into the next level, Robin's trying to do some flips or whatever to impress me, but it's not really working, because, well, he doesn't pay the bills. This next level starts out honestly interesting because so the Riddler vans in front of you will infinitely spawn enemies, but it's every so often, so it's not like constant, but you have to start by blowing them all up, which is alright, but you know, one thing also, these guys all have guns. I do not, which means that my only ranged attack is a batarang, which is slightly annoying. You change into Robin and do his magnetic suit. Eventually, I'm just going to stop mentioning all the changes. I discovered you can do infinite backflips as Robin. Kind of cool. More changes on the inside. Eventually, I'm just going to start playing a montage for any time that we get a lot of changes coming up. But what's lucky, though, throughout this level is like the theme's kind of cool, and you find an ice gun that you actually get to shoot Robin with. And let me tell you, that was the greatest discovery I could have made. Somehow we don't see Riddler again, and he tries to escape us, and then we have to prepare for our hardest boss fight of the run so far, Mr. Freeze. I'm not saying it's the hardest boss, I'm just saying it's the hardest boss right now since it's level 2. And also, Freeze is slightly annoying, partially because I'm playing through it as Robin. Whenever we do eventually beat him, Batman throws his almighty god Batarang, and you'll never guess what happens. He zigzags around the room like a fucking pinball. It's hilarious. And then we're outside, and the almighty Batarang, you'll never guess what? It comes back to Batman from the outside. How does that even work? I'm skipping over the next level because it's a vehicle level, and you beat the entire thing as the Batmobile. So, like, there were 0 changes on this level. Other levels are not so lucky, however, and they're the bane of my existence. The next level, Robin can't hold on to a fucking leaf to save his life, you'll see pretty quickly, and somehow we don't immediately think, hey, we should probably go to the botanical gardens to deal with poison ivy. But you know what? Learning curve, my people. Learning curve. We figure this shit out eventually. Sometimes it's just too late to save a lot of innocent lives. On the inside, I did an accidental change to Robin and changed back to Batman because I wanted to balance out the scales. Had a couple of more changes, which were kind of annoying at times, but we roll with it. Unlocked a new Batman heat suit, which is terrible. And here's the thing, I got stuck in this glitch, and I counted this one because, well, I'm suffering, and I did have to change from it, but I couldn't get out until I pushed on those flowers as Batman. Robin's an idiot, because after we beat Poison Ivy, he fell in love with her. The almighty Batarang saved him and me from having to deal with this shit, and of course, you just shake him on the head like a baby. He'll be fine. The baby, I mean. Robin, we don't know. Finally, we figure out where he's going, which doesn't look like much, but it's like a gold reservoir or something, and that's where he's going. Change time. I hit a snag on this part because the elevator just did not want to work for me. Robin and I were flipping both of the things, and it just wasn't working. Like I'm telling you, both of us were flipping the switches, and it didn't work. And it took me a long while, but eventually I did end up just having to reset the game. And eventually it worked. And I basically, when I went through the level again, I didn't count any of the changes up until that point. Clayface can somehow survive in toxic farts, which means he would go great with my ex. I hate her. A few more changes here and there just in order to make sure that we have the right equipment. And then we get on to the boss fight, which is honestly easy. You hit Riddler a few times, and then you block some attacks from the gun that they're at. Super easy fight. And once you finally beat him, you'll never guess what happens. They die. Just kidding. They get stuck in gold? I don't want to question it at this point, but hey, we're done. On to the second chapter. Penguin's got the most loaded crew, but they're so underrated. Killer Croc, Man Bat, Bane, Catwoman, and Penguin. Here's the thing, we don't even fight Bane in this chapter. You'll see why later. The first level has us taking down Selena Kyle, and yeah, I'm just going to skip because I don't feel like talking. Finally, we get to the Catwoman fight, which is really annoying just because it's basically just you rapid punch her, but she keeps jumping away. And when we finally beat her, we try and get her to hand over the diamond. She likes my abs, and you'll never guess what. She tries to kiss me. Robin's jealous, and he can't even catch a fucking diamond. Bro is such a disappointment, but we load into our boat level. He tries to cosplay as Aquaman, but even Aquaman's more useful. This one was annoying because there were a few switches throughout the level. Unlike the first one, I really wish it could have been nicer to me, but it wasn't. But you know what? Killer Croc helps us out because he decapitates Robin. I really wanted to leave him for dead, but unfortunately I needed a player too. More changes occurring, including in the sewer level. Why does everything have a goddamn sewer level these days? By the way, why does Robin have a scuba suit? And why was he not wearing it the whole damn time? That would have saved us so much time. I don't know. I don't get paid enough for this. The Killer Croc boss fight is honestly really easy. You hit him a few times, he goes into the sludge, and then he throws 3 things at you. Repeat. Real easy. And before he falls eventually and we leave him in a broken cell, he gives us some information that leads us to the zoo. I needed this break. I mean, I don't think y'all realize just how much of a pain this run was. Alright, continuing up, we have a few more changes scattered throughout here, sometimes by mistake, sometimes because, well, I actually needed to change into them. This level is pretty interesting, but I didn't do a whole lot because I wanted to save on changes. Alright, the Man-Bat fight is really easy. See the thing behind me? Yeah, he breaks it every so often, you fix it, and then you use it, and then you hit him. It's really easy, and then somehow we win by spinning him, and he somehow gets wrapped up in his own wings. I don't understand it, but we start on immediately into the Penguin level where we have some more changes, and then we get to the big boy fight. This one's pretty easy. Catwoman jumps down occasionally to fight you, and then whenever Penguin throws in the penguins, you just knock them into the 4 little generators. And then you hit them a lot. And just like that, we're finally done with the second chapter. We're getting there, but not really, because why not? Alright, on the third chapter, we got the Joker's crew, which is him, Harley Quinn, Mad Hatter, Scarecrow, and Killer Moth. Let's see how they fare on our adventure. We finally head out, but Robin, of course, decided he needed the Moab, and this son of a bitch is stealing my helicopter. Get the Robin copter or something. And Alfred's my servant, but Robin tries to kill him with a failed attempted assassination. Look at this. Robin is mine to abuse. So is Alfred. On the inside level, it starts out okay. I thought I had to change, but I really didn't. So all in all, not too bad, but there is going to be quite a few changes, and I'm just going to let you guys watch, and I'm probably going to play like clown music or something, because at this point I'm just way too tired for all this nonsense. Finally, on the Mad Hatter fight, this one sucked ass because he does this where you have to switch characters in order to fight him. And if you don't do it fast enough, then he takes damage and then you have to do it all over again. So it's really fucking annoying on this one just because of how many times you have to change characters. But eventually you will manage to beat him down. That's just the only problem with it. Once you do beat him down, you don't really interrogate him much because he's kind of worthless. On the second mission, we learn that Joker and Harley Quinn have kidnapped the commissioner. And of course we did. Jim's kind of useless to us, I guess. You know what? I do an accidental switch and I take another ride. Just remembering all the good times. I kind of miss when Jim had that light speed earlier in the third level of the first chapter. Bro was on Godspeed. Anyway, back to the seriousness. The Harley Quinn boss fight that comes up is honestly the easiest out of all of them. Probably because there's not anything unique you have to do. She does a few flips to show off her acrobatic. Sorry, I'm just bored with this. But basically, you run around in a circle, she does a couple of flips, shoots at you while you get closer, and then you eventually get an opening to hit her. It can take a minute, but it's not actually that bad. Anyway, once you get her done, Batman manages to try and free Jim. Robin disappoints us again. Even though we took out all of Harley Quinn's lives, she's still up and ready to fight Robin once again. And Robin, of course, thinks he can handle her. Clearly, he didn't pay attention to how Batman Beyond went because he would have known he's not up for that. Robin is such a fucking disappointment. He gets chased by Harley Quinn, but he manages to turn it around for a second, and I think I should be proud of him because he's chasing Harley Quinn with the hammer. But then this pussy drops it and runs because she's got a fucking crocodile. Where did she get the crocodile from? The almighty Batarang is required to be thrown to save her. And I'm like, okay. Why do I need the Batarang to save Robin? A boomerang is more effective than him. On this level, this one was really fucking annoying because I did have a lot of changes here throughout, and cue the clown music or whatever I decide. Finally, oh gosh, I'm a little late, but yeah, this one was annoying because I didn't even know how to do it in the first place, but you know what? Here we are. We're going to try and skip through a lot of this level because there's really not much interesting. I mean, yeah, I'm talking through it, but the whole point is we're chasing Joker, and I think it's Killer Moth at this point. Yeah, it is. We chase him through the streets, get into a fight with him that honestly is not hard at all, and then we threaten him with a lot of extra violence and, of course, bug spray. I don't know why we have it, but you know what? He thinks he's a bug, so we're going to treat him like one. And we learn Joker went to church? Okay, then. Whenever we arrive at the church, we see that this guy is John Wick. Look at all the bullets he shoots into us. This bro's got like extended mag or something, and I mean, look at him dance. He thinks he's got a chance, but you know what? I respect it. He's on the grind to try and move up that corporate ladder into the goon captain. Unfortunately for him, he's going to fall to pieces. No pun intended. Anyway, this first part out starts pretty easy because you just have to fight a lot of guards, and I don't even know what you're supposed to do. I just fought. Sorry, I'm just tired at this point. Anyway, a few more changes later, you eventually get another small Harley Quinn boss fight, and let me tell you, this one is easier than the last. Why? Because literally the answer is right in front of you, and it's fucking water. You get into a water cannon and you shoot Harley Quinn 3 times. Each time you do, she destroys one of them, and you just have to do it over and over again, build a new suit. I did have to do 2 changes because the game knocked me into one. Inside the church wasn't too bad because, climb here, climb there. The Joker reveals that he's a pussy and not the real Joker. That's Mark Hamill. Because this Joker calls in a helicopter to fight us, which is honestly harder than fighting him. Because here's the thing, Harley Quinn gets knocked out by the elevator, and you hit basically just avoid Joker for a minute while I die and lose all my money. Hit him a few times, and he does a similar thing to what Mad Hatter did to us, where he basically zaps your character and you have to switch. So it gets pretty annoying, and this goes on for quite a while, but you know what? We'll get through it somehow, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I just want to go home. But you know what? It's all okay because we finally got through it. We're finally beating the boss fight, and we've completed the first half of the game. And so far, only 122 changes. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and psych! Now we get to do 3 chapters as the villains and see how much more we get from there. Lovely. Alright, we're starting off with the Riddler section, obviously, and here's the thing. The Heroes section gave us a total of 122 changes, and so you would imagine there'd be a lot less on this one, considering the fact that, well, we don't have suits. Boy, would you be surprised. Like, holy shit. I'm skipping through a good amount of this stuff because basically it's the same thing we already did, except you're playing as the villain side. So, like, you're either capturing gear or whatever. It's not really that worth much talking about. There is actually no vehicle level in this one. Like, there's not even a single vehicle level, but eventually we get to wherever we realize that Harvey Dent is farting all of the time. Bro's just toxic as fuck, like my ex. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll stop making the jokes. But anyway, we're here to steal a super dangerous super weapon. Why the super dangerous super weapon? What page of the script am I on? Just kidding, I don't do my own scripts. Building this mech was a goddamn pain because 2 thugs drop in every so often, and I was playing as the Riddler. Bro has no ranged attack whatsoever, so it's really annoying. But eventually, we do get this goddamn super weapon, and you know what? Two-Face decides he wants to shoot it first. I decided to let him because it was borderline useless. That entire last mission was for nothing. Do you know how many changes that one took? Because I haven't been keeping track of the individual level, but I got my goddamn note card. Skip. Alrighty. This scene is pretty cool because you get this cool little mech, but you don't do too much with it, I guess. But yeah, whatever. Starting on the second chapter, we get Bane and Penguin, where I'm going to show you guys this Bane is the strongest in any multiverse. You cannot convince me otherwise. And I'm talking like this guy's beating anime characters too. Ah, shit, my controller died. Oh well, we'll get into it. Try to make this jump over here. Sorry, I'm losing my place in the script. But see, here's the thing. I had to change the Penguin to make this jump and then watch this malarkey bullshit. So I'm fighting these guys. Bane just hops on up here. Like, you asshole. Why couldn't you do that when I was playing as you? Fucking bitch. I say that, but this again proves why Bane is the strongest in all the multiverse. He drops a satellite dish onto us, and we see why we didn't have a boss fight. Because Penguin abandons him to the cops, and watch this. This motherfucker is mad, and you know what he does? He stomps on the ground and shakes the motherfucking earth. Nah, you get to watch this shit again. He stomps and shakes the earth. This motherfucker is the strongest in the entire series. You cannot convince me otherwise. Every time he jumps, he shakes the earth. He also gets dragged away by a single car that can barely go, so credit, I guess. I'm kind of running out of ways to say there are a lot of changes here, but I'm trying my best, okay? At the end of the second level for that, chapter 2, Catwoman basically seduces the cops by just doing flips. or acrobatic jumps, I guess. I mean, these guys must just be really lonely. I mean, they all look like each other, so I guess that could explain it, but these guys need a life. I mean, they're in Gotham City, for God's sakes. Why are you in the police department? Cool little thing seeing Batman. In the next one, it's basically, hey, we gotta go get Catwoman. By the way, if you start counting, you'll notice I skipped over the vehicle levels for chapters 2 and 3 of the villains because, well, I didn't want to cover them, and I was frankly thinking I would run out of time. By the way, just so you know, the chapter 2 vehicle mission only took 5 changes. This run took a lot more than that. But I basically figured, hey, you know what? Skipping over here would actually probably be a lot better working out in the long run. Because again, I didn't know how much time I'd have to work with, and I didn't want to make this video super long. We managed to free Catwoman by just rolling a bomb in a police station, which I don't even understand how that fucking works. Like, okay. In the next level, we skip all that fun stuff, I think. I kind of thought there was one more level to go through, but I guess I forgot to film the footage of it. But don't worry, that stuff is accounted for. It's just really annoying to go through. But we skip into Joker's scene, where we start out basically having to do a massive switchathon. Switchathon? What the fuck? Who wrote this goddamn script? Look at Joker's ass. Okay, anyway. The boss fight against Commissioner Gordon isn't too bad. You hit him a few times, he goes up to the area behind us. Switching into the crane was the hard part because I kept accidentally switching between the two. And then you pick up these teddy bears, drop them on a police van, which somehow breaks them. Like, I mean, I know GCPD is underfunded, but hey, and we also earn a risky achievement. But hey, you know what? Gordon says smash. I say, okay. Anyway, this guy tries to stop us, and by stop us, I mean do absolutely nothing as we fly away, but we still fight. Anyway, I skipped through that level again. You would not believe me, but there are 5 changes in that one as well. See, I told you this guy in the brown suit would be familiar earlier, or be important. Basically, because in his failed attempt to propose, he's sobbing about life but doesn't realize just how much danger he's in. His fiancée looks back and realizes, damn, my husband is a gangster. Or my almost husband. Because look at this. Scarecrow decides bro is worth it enough to go on this adventure. And he's flying through, but Scarecrow realizes, wait a minute, you ain't the gangster I thought you were. I'm gonna leave you here. Which you think is nice until you realize, like, this bro is afraid of heights. Ha! Oh, loads of fun. Anyway, the next level picks up after Batman blows up our thing, and we crash into an art gallery. I don't know why I kept this level in, but not the final level for the Penguin. Oh, yeah, because that level was boring. It's literally just, hey, you're in the Arctic area again, start up your machine. This one is slightly more interesting because it feels like a different area. And it is, I don't know. What the fuck is going on, man? I'm just so goddamn tired of all of this. This run took a while to end. Outside, this guy is playing with the claw machine, catches Scarecrow, and of course, I decide that it's worth it to leave him behind. And this guy originally, I think, has me at gunpoint, but he doesn't kill me on sight, so I kill him. Next up, we meet with, you'll never guess who gets their level, Killer Moth. Yeah, we needed content with Killer Moth, but you know what? This guy isn't nearly as bad as you think. Because here's the thing, this guy can throw hands, does like a Naruto run, and he's also got a Glock. Alright, like most of the villains have guns, but I didn't expect him to have one. So you know what? I'm liking him, alright? He's okay. He's not downright terrible. And his level only cost a few changes just because I was making mistakes. Got into an all-out war with my boys. I mean, these guys were ready to lay down their life and die for me. So I ensured they would by going into a small war against the police. They really didn't last that long, just kind of proving that the police in this game are borderline useless. Just make Batman an army or something. That'd be a lot better. I get to play on a cool jungle gym and tree house. Seriously, I wish I had one this big. But let me tell you, it was not all fun and games because at this part right here, the game thinks that you're trying to melee attack all of the plants and stuff when I'm trying to shoot at the guys because I can't hold square to lock on the gunfire. Yeah, this was hell. Because again, the game keeps thinking I'm just trying to melee attack something, not, shoot the thugs who are trying to shoot me. I did have to change to Killer Moth a couple of times, and then I open this present and you'll never guess what it is. A mech that grows in size? This is more weird than Frederick or whatever I called that fish in my Assassin's Creed Mirage video, which you should totally watch, by the way. I'm sorry about that. That was pretty shameless. We're now on the final level where we ascend a church. Yeah, this level is basically just like, hey, this happened right before Batman gets here. And I don't even know what's going on in here. I just know, okay, we show up to the church and somehow all of our stuff is going to be at the tower. But yet there's no one here to really stop us on the outside, but just wait until we get inside. Harley Quinn we spent a lot of time with on this run. She's borderline useful, more useful than Robin because she can like jump higher, but I mean, everyone's useless unless if I'm playing as them, because they don't do nearly enough shit. By the way, I would like to mention now, if you guys have any suggestions for the next LEGO game that I should do this series with, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. At the time, I'm currently working on the LEGO Ninjago playthrough, and that one is almost done recording-wise. This jump here took me a long time until I got a running start, which was pretty damn stupid. I know my transitions are terrible. I just don't know how to switch between talking about stuff like that or, other things. Anyway, I sat in a pause menu for like 10 minutes because I can't tell you why. I think I just got distracted with something. Finally, all you have to do is hit like a couple of things which didn't require that many changes, build some stuff, and that's it. That is the end of the level, guys, and that concludes the villain chapters, which you'll never guess was only 104. Actually, I say only 104. The heroes counting the switches to the two heroes and their suits was 122. But guys, this gives us a brand new total count to 226, which if you'll remember, beats Lego City. For that, we have a new champion, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see in the future. And I just hope y'all have a fantastic day. Alrighty, bye-bye.